everybody out there that's tuning into this video. I'm sitting down with Niagara Falls Mayor, Mr. Jim Diodati, and just really want to thank you for doing this first of all.
My pleasure.
And just had a couple of questions for you. First one here, in August of 2018, you received a letter from a very well-known hockey player regarding Hodgkin's lymphoma and what you were going through. And he, of course, is none other than Mario Lemieux. And just want to ask you about that. And what did it feel like the first time you read that letter?
Well, it was pretty awesome. I mean, you know, I often say, even when bad things happen, good things can come out of them. And me having cancer last year definitely had a lot of surprisingly nice things come out of it. And I wouldn't wish it on anybody, but you know, you get what you focus on. And I like to focus on where you're going, not where you are. So never wanted to dwell on the sickness, the illness. I wanted to dwell on the health and the healing. So with that kind of way of thinking, I received a package one day from Mario Lemieux. And I was well aware that he had Hodgkin's lymphoma as well. Because even when the doctors, when they told me what I had, they sat me down and said, you know, we've gone to tell you the test results. And they said, but the good news, it can be beat. Mario Lemieux is a great example. He had the same one. So I thought, okay, well, if he could beat it, then why can't I beat it? I said, okay. So it was so fitting when I got the package from him just saying, hey, listen, basically, carry on. I've been there. You'll be fine. With an autographed puck and an autographed picture of him hoisting the Stanley Cup and a nice letter that he personally signed. As a matter of fact, I had it framed and it's on my wall right now. Just as a reminder that he'd already crossed the river and was on the other side, and he was kind of sending instructions and encouragement across the river to me. Don't be afraid, come on over, everything will be fine, kind of thing. And so now I'm on the same side as he is. And a quick funny story, and it's how ironic life is. When I had to give the news to my brothers and my sister, my one brother in particular, I called him, and he was traveling, and I said, you know how when we were kids, everybody used to compare me to Mario Lemieux? And there was dead silence on the phone, and he said, what are you talking about? He goes, you suck. And I said, yeah. And I said, well, I've got Hodgkin's lymphoma, the same thing that Mario Lemieux had. And he said, you're saying it like it's a good thing. And I said, well, I mean, he went on to win a Stanley Cup, a Hart Trophy. I said, so there's still hope for me. And he said, there's no hope for you. You're hopeless. Oh. But we had a little bit of fun. And then later when I got that package in the mail from him, I thought, wow, he's a busy guy. He doesn't know me from a bale of hay. Someone reached out to him, told him my story, and he took the time out of his busy life to do that little gesture. And I thought, you know, that's what we would hope our mentors and our heroes would do, is those kinds of things. And not forgetting where you came from, and not forgetting that you have an impact on people. And I've always been that same way too. I like to do the same thing and reach back, and I do just that. And I think he set a great example, even for someone like myself, the right thing to do. And I'm very impressed with his professionalism. And when I posted it on my social media, it just blew up. Class act, quality guy. The list went on, and absolutely incredible adjectives to describe Mario Lemieux and the person and the persona. And I'm proud to have that on my wall right now. When someone shows their true colors like that, I'm impressed to be associated with them, and I'd like to emulate what he did and do the same for others.
That's quite the story. And you're a big hockey fan.
Yeah. And
you did have a chance, of course, to watch a lot of Mario in his prime.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. The guy was amazing. To watch him go down the ice. And the part you got to realize, it's not like he's with a bunch of guys who never played hockey before. He's playing with some of the greatest players in the world. And to watch him dominate the ice with these great players, it's amazing. It really, and what you really appreciated, it was when I talked to other NHL players that played against people like Mario Lemieux. And they say, you know, I don't know if you really appreciate how good he really is. And he's one of the game changers, you know. He's one of the best. They'll talk about him for generations. So to get something like that from a guy like him, who went through the same kind of thing I did, it definitely touched me. It encouraged me. and I think he set the stage for the way it should be for anyone in a position of influence, that you should then do the right thing and encourage other people.
Did you have the chance to reach out to him directly, or how did that go for you?
I did. So we had a little joke inside the office because, I had a picture that he'd signed, and I said, what do you guys think? Should I send him a picture of me signed? And we all had a good laugh. And of course I was joking. I wasn't going to do that. But I did send him a nice handwritten card and a gesture just to let him know that what he did, what impact it had. And I say this about people in life that have influence. I say, like ripples in a pond, you'll never truly know or understand the impact that you have on other people's lives. Some things you do and you don't even give it much thought, positive or negative, but you can have a huge impact. It can amplify through their life. And you can really encourage people to do great things, or you can really push them down. So choose your words. They're so powerful and they can be so uplifting. And I just want to let him know I appreciated with gratitude. Thank you so much for what you did. And as I say, I really focused, for me, it was always focusing on where I was going, not where I was. I was never focused on cancer. I was never focused on being sick. I was always focused on being healthy and healing and being where I wanted to be. And that's what I always tried to vision. I didn't want to wear a shirt that said something negative about cancer. I thought, because that just gives power to cancer. Mm-hmm. I'm focused on where I'm going. And that's my attitude. The cup's half full, and so far so good.
It's amazing what the power of sport can do with the athletes that we all look up to. And there are some young students here in Niagara Falls at Notre Catholic Elementary School,
yes, that
have reached out to a certain young Canadian tennis star who has emerged this year, Bianca Andreescu.
Yes.
And they put together what was a very, very creative video pitch.
Creatives being very generous.
Involving yourself
Yep.
and their principal, I believe. Is that
yes, correct? Chris Moscato, the principal.
Yeah. And I did see the video myself, and if you want to see the mayor in tennis shorts, he represents very, very well. No,
Oh, yeah.
But honestly, it was a fantastic video, and just wondering, how can the city of Niagara Falls, or even anybody around here, help to encourage Bianca to respond and maybe make an appearance here?
No, I appreciate that, and that's a great question. So yeah, the principal had called and said, hey, you want to help us? We're trying to do this Healthy Schools Challenge, encouraging kids to eat healthy and be healthy, and we want to reach out to Bianca. She's the kids really look up to her, and she's a great role model, and would you help me do a video? And they know my personality. I'm a goofy mayor, and I have no problem doing anything goofy. If it's helping somebody, I'll do it without any kind of hesitation. So, and ironically, a buddy of mine was in Europe, and he had picked up those vintage shorts at a vintage shop. These are like McEnroe, Bjorn Borg shorts from the 70s, early 80s. They're a little snug, and same with the shirt. And I got the Bjorn Borg wig. We got the sweatbands, headbands, wristbands, and the old wooden tennis rackets. I mean, classic. But instead of green tennis balls, we've got green apples in the video. If you look closer, green apples. So, and we didn't have any script. We just winged it. And I think if I had to describe our antics, it would be like the Hans and Franz of tennis. And so we challenged her to a match. Challenged. Because people have asked me, do you really, do you play a lot of tennis? I said, it's irrelevant how much tennis I play. I said, I probably couldn't even see one of her serves. But regardless, we challenged her to reach back to the school. This is all about the kids. She's a role model. And if anybody, we tweeted this message to her. We posted the video all through social media. It got an awful lot of views. A lot of people that have links to her. We're hoping if anybody has a chance to watch the video, you can YouTube the Notre Dame Bianca video. It's on YouTube. And encourage her. I know she was in Asia, but hopefully she can respond. It'd be great if she came to visit the kids at the school for 20 minutes. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully she can do something. We're waiting to hear back from her. And based on what I've heard of her and what I've seen of her, I know she's a good person, and hopefully she'll have the time to reach back to the kids, because, again, like the ripples in a pond, she'll never know the impact that she'll have on these kids in the same way that she watched the Williams sisters play, and then she went on to win herself. Then hopefully she'll inspire these kids in the same way to do something great, whether it's tennis or something else. They'll know our role model reached back and remembered where she came from and encouraged us. So, Bianca, if you're out there, we'd love to hear from you.
Well, thanks so much for the time, Jim. Really
Yeah.
appreciate it. Glad to see you're doing so well. And
Cancer
again,
free.
yeah, absolutely. So thank you for checking this out, and we'll see you again next time.